So top chambers are atria and bottom chambers are, what are bottom chambers?
Ventricles, sir.
Ventricles. Good.
Ventricles, sir.
Very good. Very good. Right. So this is atria, this is atria, this is right, this is left. In between the atria, there is a separating wall. This is called interatrial septum. Interatrial septum. In between the ventricles, there is a wall. This is called interventricular septum. Can you see it? Interatrial septum, interventricular septum. What is the significance of this separating wall between atria and ventricles?
Oxygen rich and carbon dioxide rich blood should be not mixed, sir.
Very good. This separating septum, it prevents the mixing of CO2 rich blood with O2 rich blood. Okay. The septum, it prevents the mixing of, here it is not clear, sorry, prevents the mixing of CO2 rich blood with O2 rich blood. If it mixes, what is the problem that it is going to come? If CO2 rich blood from the right chambers is getting mixed with left chambers, what is going to happen?
Sir, there will be disturbance in ventricles, sir.
No. Our body will be supplied with mixed blood. Means there will not be sufficient oxygen that can be supplied to our body parts. If sufficient oxygen is not supplied, then less rate of cellular respiration takes place. If less rate of cellular respiration takes place, less energy produced. If less energy is produced, our body cannot maintain constant body temperature. Are you getting it? Okay? Right. So, you have understood about the significance of interatrial septum and interventricular septum. And in between the atrium and its corresponding ventricle, there is a septum. This septum. Okay. In between atrium and ventricle, there is a septum. What this septum is known as? Atrioventricular septum. This septum is known as atrioventricular septum. Right? Is that clear to all of you? And in the morning, I told you about two valves, tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Morning class. Okay. So this is right side, this is left side. The left side, there are two cusps like structures. So in the valve, there are two cusps or lid like structures. So this valve is known as bicuspid valve. What it is known as? Bicuspid valve. Left side in atrioventricular septum, whatever the valve that is present, it is known as what? Bicuspid valve. This bicuspid valve is also known as mitral valve. What it is known as? Mitral valve. This bicuspid valve is also known as mitral valve. Why it is called bicuspid valve? Because two cusps like structures are present. Two door like structures are present. Okay. So left side valve is known as what? What is known as? I want you to join.
Tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve.
Not tri. Bicuspid valve. Left side valve is known as bicuspid valve.
Tricuspid valve.
Valve is known as tricuspid valve. It is known as
Tricuspid valve.
Tricuspid valve. For what these valves are useful? For what these valves are useful? These valves
For transferring blood. For transferring blood, sir.
Yes.
Rich blood.
Atria to ventricles, the blood has to be transferred. After once the blood is completely transferred, these valves get closed. They get, see, while transferring, the valves are open. Once the blood is completely transferred, the valves get completely closed. Do these valves?
Sir, valves prevent the. Valves prevent the backward flow of blood, no, sir?
Wait, I'll tell you. After the blood is transferred, why do these valves get closed? Now coming to your point. The valves get closed in order to prevent the back flow of blood. Blood should always flow from atria to ventricles, not back from ventricles to atria. So these valves prevent the back flow of blood. Got my point? Someone was asking. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
When these valves get closed, a sound will come. What is that sound? Morning I told you. Lubbed up sound. Lub is going to come when the tricuspid and bicuspid valves get closed. Okay? Right. Once the ventricles have received the blood, the ventricles will contract, and from right ventricle, the blood is pumped out into pumped out into
body parts.
which large blood vessel? Pulmonary?
Lungs.
No.
Pulmonary blood vessel.
Artery. This pulmonary artery carries the CO2 rich blood. Pulmonary artery carries the CO2 rich blood to lungs from the right ventricle of the heart. Pulmonary artery, it carries the CO2 rich blood to lungs, right? And from left ventricle, the blood is pumped out to all body parts
To
through
body
a large
parts.
blood vessel. This is known as what? Aorta.
Aorta.
Not aorta,
Aorta.
aorta. Okay. Aorta carries the blood from left ventricle to all body parts. Is that clear? I will take another marker. So, right atrium receives the blood through which blood vessels? Morning I told you. Right atrium receives the blood through which
Vena cava.
Huh? Come on.
Vena cava, sir.
Very good. How many vena cava are there?
Cavas.
How many vena cava are there?
2, sir.
2. What are they?
Upper vena cava, lower vena cava.
Okay. Left atrium receives
Two,
the
sir.
blood through which blood vessel?
Upper and lower.
Huh? Left atrium.
Pulmonary vein, sir.
Very good. Pulmonary vein. How many pulmonary veins are there?
Only one, sir.
Why
Only
there
one, sir.
are two and
Only
one
one, sir.
pulmonary vein is only one?
Because blood should be only transported to lungs, sir. No, sir. Oxygen will come from only lungs, oxygen to transfer, sir.
Yes. Oxygen rich blood comes from only lungs, whereas CO2 rich blood comes from both upper body parts as well as from lower body part. Since heart is located in the center, from upper body part one vena cava will come, and from lower body part another vena cava is going to carry CO2 rich blood. Is that clear? Is my voice clear to you? Students? Okay. Mechanism of pumping of blood by heart. Top chambers, atria receive the blood
Sir, video is not. Video is buffering, sir. Your video is not coming, sir.
Video is not coming.
Audio is also not clear, sir.
Why video is not coming?
It's just loading. Only buffering, sir. It is not come.
Buffering means that is problem in your net.
Hmm.
Buffering means problem is there in your net. I have taken.
Yes, it is taking loading, sir.
There is no buffering in my mobile. Are you getting it?
Now it came, sir.
Try to keep low data mode. In your WebEx settings will be there. You can go to settings and you can use what's say? Don't use high definition video. Try to use low definition video, so that net consumption will be reduced. Got my point? Get it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Otherwise, this class I will upload it in YouTube. Right? Those who will miss the class, you can watch it. My YouTube uploaded videos are of very low size, means about 60 MB in size. You can download and you can watch it directly, whatever the number of times that you want. Okay? In that everything will be clear. You no need to worry. Right, now you can see now, atria receive the blood when they are relaxed. When they are relaxed, then they contract and transfer the blood. Transfer blood to ventricles. To ventricles. Right? Point 1. Point 2. Ventricles receive the blood. Receive the blood when they are relaxed. And they contract to pump out the blood. Pump out the blood. Is that clear to all of you? 2 points only are there in the mechanism of pumping of blood by heart. Atria receive the blood as they are relaxed, as they are in relaxed condition. Then they contract and transfer blood to ventricles. To ventricles. Ventricles receive the blood as they are relaxed and they contract to pump out the blood. Where will they pump out the blood? CO2 rich blood to lungs, O2 rich blood to body parts. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Hope you have taken these 2 points.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, coming to the significance of having 4 chambers in our heart. If you take the Animalia kingdom, in vertebrates, in vertebrata, it is the subphylum. In this vertebrata, there are 5 classes. Pisces, which has fishes in it. Next, Amphibia, which has frogs like animals in it. Next, Reptilia, which has snakes, turtles, etc. Next, Aves, it has birds. Next, Mammalia, it has animals like humans. Next, dolphins, whales, so many animals are there. Okay, all these things are there. Do you know all these things? Students, could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you know all these things, na? Pisces has fishes, amphibians has frogs, reptilia has snakes, turtles, etc. Aves has birds, mammalia has humans, horses, tiger, lions, so many things are there. Right. In these 5 classes, first 3 classes, that is Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia. Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia are called cold-blooded animals. What they are called? Cold-blooded. Think you cannot see here. This side. These are called cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals. Whereas aves and mammalia, these two, they are called warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals. Hope you know this, because in class 9th we have already discussed this. But for you, the chapter was removed.
So we did not discuss.
Because that chapter was removed.
Yes.
Last year. Okay. Now you have learnt. Fishes, frogs, snakes, these type of animals are called cold-blooded animals. And birds and mammals are called warm-blooded animals. Why fishes, amphibians, reptilians are called cold-blooded animals? Because their body do not maintain a constant temperature. Their body depends on the environment for their body temperature. So they are called cold-blooded animals. Whereas aves and mammals, birds and mammals, they are called warm-blooded animals because they maintain a constant body temperature on their own. They do not depend on environment for their body temperature. Is that clear? Is that clear? I am not
Yes, sir.
getting response.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right. Why fishes, amphibians, and reptiles do not maintain a constant body temperature. What is the reason behind that? If body temperature has to be maintained constant, then the temperature must be generated from within the body. Temperature or heat must be generated from within the body. But these animals cannot generate sufficient heat with which they can maintain a constant body temperature and can carry out their body metabolism also. These animals, fishes, amphibians and reptiles, they can generate only a particular level of energy with which they can maintain only their body metabolism, but cannot maintain a constant body temperature. So they depend on the environment for their body temperature. So only they are called cold-blooded animals. Is that clear? But why do these animals cannot generate enough amount of energy with which they can maintain a constant body temperature? Because in these animals the rate of cellular respiration, it is little low. Why the rate of cellular respiration is lower? Because these animals do not get ample amount of oxygen for their cellular respiration. Why do these animals, why don't they get ample amount of oxygen? Why don't these animals get enough amount of oxygen with which they can carry out good rate of cellular respiration and with which they can generate good amount of energy? Because their heart is not four-chambered heart. Fishes has got only two-chambered heart. Amphibians and reptiles have got only three-chambered heart, whereas birds and mammals have got four-chambered heart. Okay, what is the significance of having two-chambered heart or three-chambered heart or four-chambered heart? Okay, let us go one by one. In fishes, there is a two-chambered heart. Two-chambered heart. So how many atria and how many ventricles are present in fish? Can anyone tell? In fishes,
Sir, one atria, one ventricle.
good. One atrium and one ventricle. Right. Fishes breathe in which oxygen? Atmospheric oxygen or dissolved oxygen?
Dissolved
Good.
oxygen. Dissolved oxygen.
In the form of dissolved oxygen, the availability of oxygen, is it low or in quantity?
Low.
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 Because
Low.
oxygen in water is very less. So in the form of dissolved oxygen, the available oxygen to fishes, it is low. So fishes breath rate is very high. But see, in fishes, how the oxygen is obtained? Fishes take water through mouth and they force this water to move past gills, means through the gills. Gills are supplied with blood capillaries. Gills are supplied with blood capillaries. Is that clear? So, gases exchange takes place at gills. Now, this blood directly goes to body parts. Then where heart is involved? Where heart is involved? Yes, come to that point. From body parts, CO2 rich blood, it is coming back to heart. It is coming back to heart. As usual, atrium receives the CO2 rich blood, and the CO2 rich blood is transferred to ventricle from atrium of the fishes, and ventricle pump out which blood? O2 rich blood or CO2 rich blood? Ventricle in fish is pumping out which blood? O2 rich blood?
CO2, sir. CO2 rich blood. CO2, sir. CO2 rich blood.
Very nice, very nice. So you remember this point because this question has been asked in many competitive exams. Right? This question has been asked in many competitive exams. The ventricle of the fishes pumps out which blood? That is CO2 rich blood. Right? Okay. And this CO2 rich blood moves to gills. There gases exchange is occurring, and then the O2 rich blood is moving to body parts. O2 rich blood is moving to body parts. Are you getting my point? Okay. Right. So finally, body parts are less oxygen so that they can prepare less energy only. In their cells, the body parts prepare less energy only, which is utilized for their body metabolism only, but cannot be utilized to maintain constant body temperature. In amphibians, amphibians and reptiles, there is three-chambered heart. Three-chambered heart. In this three-chambered heart, how many atria and how many ventricles are present? Two atria and one ventricle is present. Two atria and one ventricle is present. So left atrium receives oxygen rich blood from lungs. Right atrium receives CO2 rich blood from body parts. And both of these two bloods, CO2 rich blood and O2 rich blood, they are transferred to the common ventricle. When CO2 rich blood and O2 rich blood are transferred to common ventricle, the ventricle is going to get which blood? CO2 rich blood or O2 rich blood?
Mixed, sir.
Very good, fantastic. So ventricle is going to pump half the amount of this mixed blood to lungs in order the blood to get oxygenated, and half the amount of blood to body parts. So body parts are getting complete oxygen blood or mixed blood? Body parts.
Mixed blood, oxygen rich.
Huh? How? Ventricle is pumping mixed blood, and body parts also will get mixed blood only. Ventricle is pumping mixed blood, half the amount of mixed blood to lungs in order to get complete oxygenated, and remaining half the amount of mixed blood to body parts in order to supply oxygen. So body parts they are not getting enough amount of oxygen because they are supplied with mixed blood. Here also the availability of oxygen to the cells of body parts is less because they are getting mixed blood. Is that clear? With less available oxygen, can they generate good amount of energy which can be utilized both for body metabolism as well as to maintain constant body temperature? Is it possible? No. So
No, sir. No, sir.
these animals also depend on the environment for their body temperature. Okay. Coming to mammals and birds which are having four chambers. Which are having four chambers. Here, right side chambers, right atrium, right ventricle. Okay. And left side chambers, left atrium and left, they are there. Our class will end up within 5 minutes. Okay. This is body parts and this is the lungs. Assume that. For your understanding, I am drawing a rough diagram. Lungs, right, left, atrium, ventricle, ventricle, body. Right? From left atrium is getting O2 rich blood. And from body, the right ventricle is getting CO2 rich blood. Right? From right ventricle, lungs are getting CO2 rich blood. And from lungs, left atrium is getting O2 rich blood. If you carefully observe, from right ventricle to lungs to left atrium, there is one circulation. This circulation between heart and lungs, is known as pulmonary circulation. What it is known as? Pulmonary circulation. Right? And coming from left ventricle to body and from body to back to right atrium, there is another circulation. This is known as systemic circulation. What it is known as? Systemic circulation. So there are two complete separated circulations in birds and mammals. This is known as double circulation. Is that clear? This double circulation prevents the mixing of CO2 rich blood with O2 rich blood, with which good amount of cellular respiration is carried out and good amount of energy is produced, with which the energy can be utilized both for maintaining body temperature, constant body temperature, as well as to carry out body metabolism. This is the significance of double circulation. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So what about fishes? Which circulation that they are having? They do not have double circulation. Then which circulation they are having? That is called single circulation.
Singular, sir.
Yes, not singular. It is single circulation or mono circulation. What about in amphibians and reptiles? It is called it is not double.
Double, sir.
Incomplete double circulation.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Incomplete double circulation there in amphibians and reptiles. What about birds and mammals? Complete double circulation is there.
Double circulation, sir.
Okay. Hope you have understood this. Tomorrow in the school we will continue with the further. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Anyhow,
Yes, sir.
Starbucks is going to stop automatically because we have reached the 50 minutes time duration. Tell to your friends not to miss any of my classes. I am not going to teach just exactly what
Sir?
is there in the textbook.
Yes, sir. Will you, sir?
Extra points I am going to teach. If you miss the class, you are going to miss the lesson. Okay.
Oh, sir, will this be uploaded on YouTube, sir?
Come again. Yes, I will upload this video in YouTube. Don't worry. Okay.
Hello.